Denise Richards breaks up face-off between daughters. Tensions are coming to a head between Denise Richards' eldest daughters, Sami Sheen and Lola Sheen, at a family barbecue on the series premiere of Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. In a preview for episode 1 of Denise's family show, the first 2 episodes will air back-to-back on March 4, starting at 9/8 on Bravo. Lola and Sami attempt to repair their fractured relationship with their mother as a witness, but not without hurling some insults at each other first. "I think we need to work through this," Denise tells her daughters at a picnic table, which you can check out by watching the video at the top of this post. "I think it would only be successful if someone here was capable of holding themselves accountable," so Sami says, not so subtly referring to her younger sister. Lola responds, "I think also if she could just not cuss me out and actually be respectful, that would be nice." Denise asks her eldest if she can abide by Lola's request. "Can you stop hanging with my ex?" Sami wonders. Lola shakes her head before answering, "The way that you speak to me is so." Sami says that she only speaks to Lola like that because she thinks she's a bitch. Denise takes umbrage with what Sami just said. "Don't call her, she's your sister." The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills alum interjects, "I want you guys to repair your relationship." Sami admits that she doesn't want to do that right now because it feels forced. In an interview on the episode, Lola expresses that she feels like Denise takes Sami's side. In her own confessional, Sami says that she thinks Lola gets away with more because she's the little sister. The tension is soon cut when Denise realizes that the chain of her designer bag has gotten stuck in the slats of the picnic table. She starts using a fork to try to free the bag. Meanwhile, Sami and Lola continue to go at it. "I think you genuinely need to work on how to talk to someone, Sami," Lola continues. "I'm a very nice person to the people I want to be nice to," Sami retorts. "You have disrespected me one too many times." "All you do is belittle me," Lola exclaims, "and call me names." Denise, meanwhile, is too focused on getting the bag out. "What the are you doing?" Sami asks her mom, while Lola tells that Denise she's done with the conversation because Sami is being mean. "I know, that's why I was trying to stop it," Denise says as she decides to give up on getting her purse out. "Let's stop. Why don't Sami Sheen and Lola Sheen get along?" The official announcement for Denise Richards and Her Wild Things confirms that Sami and Lola can't see eye to eye on the debut season. Viewers will have to tune in to find out what exactly is coming between the sisters, besides Lola's apparent friendship with Sami's ex, but their differing lifestyles could be partly to blame. Sami has a lucrative OnlyFans account where she posts mature content, while Lola could not be more different from her famous family and got baptized in January 2025. Denise Richards breaks up face-off between daughters, a creative story. It was a crisp Sunday afternoon, the kind of day that seemed tailor-made for family gatherings. The air was filled with the sounds of laughter and sizzling food from the barbecue, but underneath it all, tension simmered. Denise Richards stood near the grill, flipping burgers, a slight frown creasing her face as she kept one eye on her 2 daughters, Sami Sheen and Lola Sheen. Both girls sat at a picnic table, their once close bond now fractured beyond recognition. The smile that usually brightened Denise's face had faded, replaced by a nervous energy she couldn't shake. Sami and Lola had been at odds for months now. What started as small disagreements had snowballed into full-blown hostility. The source of their tension? The same thing that often divides families, a combination of love, jealousy, and conflicting lifestyles. Sami had walked down a path that no one had anticipated when she started her OnlyFans account, posting mature content for a significant sum of money. Lola, on the other hand, was adamant about staying away from the spotlight. She felt trapped by the expectations of her famous family and had taken refuge in her faith, even getting baptized earlier that year. As the summer sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows over the family's backyard. The standoff between the sisters reached a boiling point. Denise sighed, setting down the spatula. She had hoped for a peaceful day, a day where her daughters might finally find a way to repair their relationship. But it seemed that hope was slipping further away with every passing moment. "All right, you two, let's talk," Denise said, her voice carrying a sense of authority she didn't often use. She approached the picnic table, taking a seat between her daughters. She tried to smile, but it came out strained. "I think it's time we work through this. We're family, and we need to find a way to make things better." Sami, the older of the two, crossed her arms defiantly. Her expression was a mixture of frustration and hurt. "I think we need to work through this too," she replied, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "But it'd be a lot easier if someone here was capable of holding themselves accountable." Her eyes narrowed as she glanced at Lola, making it clear who she was referring to. Lola's eyes flashed with irritation, and she didn't hold back. "Oh, so now I'm the problem? Maybe if you could stop talking to me like I'm some kind of joke, we could actually get somewhere." The words hung in the air like a heavy weight, and Denise felt a sharp pang in her chest. This wasn't what she had imagined for the day, not at all. She glanced from one daughter to the other, trying to navigate the emotional minefield that had become their relationship. "Can we please keep this civil?" Denise asked, her voice trembling slightly. "You two are sisters. I don't want to see you tear each other apart." Sami scoffed, her eyes rolling as she leaned back in her chair. "Well, maybe if she didn't hang out with my ex, we wouldn't have this problem." The mention of her ex left a visible ripple in Lola's demeanor. She blinked, clearly taken aback by the accusation. "I don't hang out with him. I don't even like him," she shot back, her voice rising. "But maybe if you didn't act like a brat all the time, you wouldn't have to worry about who I hang out with." Denise winced. It was getting uglier by the second. "I'm asking you both to be respectful," she pleaded. "Can we please just stop the name-calling and insults?" Sami shot her mother a glance, her expression hard. "I'm not the one calling names, Mom," she said bitterly. "She's the one who's always pushing my buttons." Lola's face flushed with frustration, and she stood up from the table. "You think I'm pushing your buttons? Maybe you should look at how you've treated me," she exclaimed, her voice rising. Denise's heart raced as the conflict continued to spiral. The barbecue, which had once promised to be a simple family gathering, had now become the backdrop for a tense emotional standoff. She glanced down at her purse, still resting on the bench next to her, and realized with a start that the chain of the bag had become tangled in the slats of the picnic table. She was so caught up in the argument that she hadn't even noticed it. Trying to distract herself, Denise grabbed a fork from the table and began fiddling with the chain, trying to free it from the wooden slats. The effort was futile, her designer bag was firmly stuck. But the simple task provided her with a momentary escape from the tension at the table. Meanwhile, Sami and Lola continued their verbal sparring, each word sharp and cutting. "You don't know what it's like, Lola," Sami said, her voice dripping with disdain. "You get to sit back and do whatever you want, but I'm the one who has to deal with everything. The pressure, the scrutiny, it's all on me." Lola's eyes flashed with anger. "You think you have it worse than me? You don't know what it's like to feel like an outsider in your own family. You've made it clear that you don't care about any of us, and yet I'm the one who's always the bad guy." Denise's eyes flickered between her daughters, her frustration mounting. She knew that this wasn't just about exes or lifestyle choices. It was about something deeper. A sense of rivalry, a sense of unfairness. She hated that her daughters were so divided, but she wasn't sure how to bridge the gap. Finally, as Denise's frustration boiled over, she tossed the fork onto the table with a soft clink. "Enough," she shouted, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. Both Sami and Lola stopped mid-sentence, their eyes widening in surprise. Denise took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. "I love you both," she said, her voice softer now but still firm. But I cannot stand by and watch you tear each other apart. This is not how we handle things in this family. Sami opened her mouth to speak, but Denise held up a hand. No, not today. Today, we focus on this. You're both hurting, but you have to find a way to work through that hurt without destroying each other. There was a long silence. Denise looked from one daughter to the other, hoping, praying that they would see reason. Lola's voice was small, but it carried a weight of vulnerability. I don't want to fight anymore, Mom. I just want things to be different.